Hello, Internet. Gonna try something a little bit different this time. Instead of streaming the whole kind of design process as I normally do, I just want to kind of show the process to do one thing today. And that thing is to make wiring harnesses if you do not have the proper plugins, add-ons, or third-party programs to do so. In SolidWorks, if you get the basic student edition like I've got, there's no provisions to make a wiring harness, but you can actually make one anyway, and it's passable. It's if you're making a lot of harnesses, it's probably not worth the effort. You might as well just get the tool. But if you're only making a few, then yeah, should be passable. So what we're dealing with here is top of the 3D printer, and I have two sensors in there, two in there, two in there. So that's a total of 12 wires, but some of them are kind of duplicated. So in the connector, it's only going to be 8. And then I have these 3 light modules. All they take is power and ground, but I do want them to be individually controllable. So that's at least 5, but I'm just going to go ahead and break it out to, all right, that's at least 4, but I'm going to break it out to 6. Uh, so I've already placed my connectors. I went ahead and did the boring part first and shopped around for connectors, and I found a good place for them so that they aren't interfering with anything. These lights are kind of a custom design I made, and they don't have connectors on them yet. So on the way of making this harness, I'm also going to put this connector onto the light. And so yeah, let's get started. Oh, by the way, this is basically what we're going to end up with. It'll be a little bit more advanced because this is just a quick sketch in space, and this will actually be representing a harness. So yep, let's get started. So I'm gonna start, I think, with the lights. These are a little bit lighter, and I can route around them a little bit easier. So let me see. The wire I chose for those, the outside diameter is 1.83 millimeters. So I'm gonna start by just inserting a new part, and then I'm gonna edit that part. I'm gonna make a new sketch on this face, and this is a 6 conductor, so I'm just gonna make 6 circles, make them equal, and what did I say that was? 1.83. Yep. All right. SolidWorks does that sometimes on the first dimension of part. Lost my circles. There we go. So I just want to put these basically on the end of this. I can draw up a pattern or something once they're there. Maybe should have just dropped a hexagon, come to think of it. Yeah, these are relatively small. So yeah, I'm going to drop a hexagon real quick. Come on. There you go. Just make sure. Alright, then I'm just going to do some coincidences so I can space this real nice, make it look nice. Part of the purpose of this is not just getting an idea of the wiring harness, but also making it look decent for product photo or something like that as well. Just gonna leave a little bit of space. It doesn't have to be exact because this is, and I'm not even using most of this, so. But let's see. If I make it about 0.5 millimeters, it should be fine. Oh, come on. Shit, that's more than I need. Try 0.1. That's better. And construction. Okay, so I've got those circles lined up. So those are going to be the wires that are going to my 3 light modules. And from them, I'm also going to make a 3D sketch, and I'm just going to do one off of each. And make those just one of them normal. And then they're all constrained, I believe. Do it on plane. Alright, I must have missed that one. Yeah. There we go. Alright, those are all set. So next I need to decide, probably this will be the first one. And remember, I need to get that connector in there at some point as well. So just really quickly, I'm going to measure about how long of a straight section that represents. So that's, call it, I want about 45 millimeters of straight section in this run. That's doable. Just so I don't have to think about that while I'm doing something else. So, still my 3D sketch. I can actually work in here for these because all I have to do is convert them. Drawing circles and 3D sketches and wanting them to be on planes could be annoying sometimes. And to grab that planes, sometimes you need to make what's on it into construction geometry. And it doesn't really matter how far these go, so I'm just gonna do a quince on plane with that. So that's fully defined again. Alright, so I need an arc and another arc. I'm going to make those tangent to those lines that I made. It's basically the only reason those lines exist. And I need another 2 arcs. Probably pull off of here and there. Just that they're close together and I don't have to pass something between them. Ooh. See, that went almost straight, which could be a problem. Just gonna bend it a little bit more if I can. And try it again. That's a little bit better. Bend it down now at least. And that would be the inside one. And we need straight line, and 2 more straight lines. So these are the lines representing right through that connector. So I'm going to make those parallel and equal. These are going to control the distance between, so I'm going to make those equal as well, and parallel, and make those perpendicular. Do a quick measurement over here. Let's see, evaluate, measure. So that's 6.35, and it's probably the same in the bottom, but I'll double check. 6.35, okay. So that means that 6.35. All right, go tangent to that, tangent there. Oop. Yeah, something about that confused SolidWorks. It's okay. Let's go another tangent on that. Yeah, something's not right there. We can fix it. Hasn't beat us yet. Try dropping you down, make it almost tangent just by maybe not so tangent. Okay. If I bring this in, nope, that does not help. Just have to kind of experiment with things. I guess I probably just need to rotate this in mid-pass. That's probably what's causing the issue. Uh, so, yeah, that's so basically it's going straight and then it's tilting down 60 degrees, I believe. So I need to make this. Well, let me do it to a plane. No, it won't. Yeah, this is tilted up right now. I need it tilted down. I mean, I'll worry about those tangents later because I need that. Ah. All right, need this moved down. And I'm just going to delete these, get them out of the way. I'll fix those or put those back in later. Alright, so it's kind of fighting me. It does this sometimes. Again, if you've got the software, use that. But I'm using what I've got. Alright, so that's not even letting me do that at this point. Alright. Options. Okay, so the reason this one's not working is just that it's an arc and I'm asking it to do too much. So I'll turn that into a spline. I think it'll be a little bit happier. And if will it let me do a dimension to there? No, it will not. Will it let me to there? No, it will not. And no. Alright, SolidWorks is just not happy about this at all, but it doesn't have to be happy. We can get around it. I'd like to make them pretty, but or fully defined and all that, but if that's not happening, it's not happening, and I don't think it's happening. So I'm just gonna kind of do this by hand. That'll probably work. Just try to drag it down a little bit more. Nope, that is no good. So much for a quick little video. Okay, it finally got dragged down. Good deal. So now, let's see. If I drag this out a little bit, I can connect two splines. I'm not even going to attempt to do arcs on this one. Normally I try to, just to keep geometry simple, but just the tight bends are not going to let me this time. And have to find out if I have those crossed. Okay. So yeah, I have those crossed. No, don't want that. Okay. So I want to delete and delete, or I'll just delete one actually, just so I don't cross them again, because in 3D it's easy to get turned around in 3D space like this. Make that tangent, make that tangent, and two more tangencies, and okay, looks like the wires are not crossing. They are going through the bottom, but I can fix that. And move my connector out just a little bit, maybe. Should probably just be happy with what I got right now. Alright, I think that'll do. And it leaves a little bit of slack too, so that's a plus. Alright, so with that, I am just going to be exiting that 3D sketch. Now I'm going to probably make a whole video of of doing all these, but for those of you that have stuck around this long and are ready to bail, I'm just going to finish up doing this one section so you can at least see it done on one. So I'm in a 3D sketch. I'm going to convert just the one wire, or the one path, and I'm going to make another 3D sketch to do the other one. Okay. And if I go down here, so now I need to do a sketch, convert, and then do another sketch, convert. So now if I take that and that, I can go sweep. Oh, missed it. Sweep. Okay, so that's my basic wire setup. And now I just need to place this on there. And oh, the joy of mouse gestures. And, oh, come on. Alright. Really? Really? I think something might be going on with my mouse. Okay. That is better, I think. Okay. So go like that, and I can just do coincidence or concentric mates because I designed this connector to be like that, and do a coincidence there. Okay, so now looks basically right, but if I were to take that connector off there, I'm having all sorts of trouble with mouse today. If I took that connector off there, it wouldn't be great. So not entirely done yet. I want to make a copy of this, and I'm just gonna do a coincidence to the same place. Okay, so now I've got this copy of that wire, and I've got this connector, and I'm going to add those to a folder. I'm going to go to this module and drag that down into the folder as well, just to put them all together. Then I can drop the connector, drop the part when it lets me. And then I can open that up. All right, so at this point, we've got basically the start of wires that I put inside of it already. And coming out of there, so the start of the wires that are already there and end right at this line. Then I have these wires into there and through. So again, I'm going to do another sub-assembly. If I start with those and the connector and there, I'm gonna form a new sub-assembly. Or maybe I won't. Okay, I know what's going on. I'd need to do a external save just because it's getting confused. It's too deep. It's kind of a cheat, but it should work. Well, let me save. Yes, it will. So I'll worry about that other thing in a bit. So, yep, B, 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 B. And I want to have that in this assembly. And I'm gonna actually don't want it in that assembly yet because I want to mate it here. So coordinate, coordinate, mate. Okay, good. So then I can drop it into this assembly and open that up. And looks fine. So I'm going to do a save as a part. And open the part. Okay, so now all of this is just bodies. And if I go down here, I'm gonna make a sketch and convert these two, and do an extrude cut through all towards me, and only on that. Alright, for some reason one of those didn't convert in the sketch. Okay, so trim some of the garbage away now. Don't need that, or that, or that. Don't need those either. I'm going to do a control Q twice in a row just to make sure. And then I'm going to do combine, combine, combine. So now I've got the wires and the connector. And again, I'm going to save as a step. This time not to overcome a failure, just to because I actually want to do that. And I saved as the old style step if you missed that. Because that way it drops all the unnecessary stuff that is kind of built up in that file. And I've just got two imported bodies. And let's see. It looks good. Good. Okay. Now, one little issue I just thought to mention is that if you want to keep the connector part separate for your BOM, which actually I do want to do, come to think of it, You can just you pick some mating surfaces. So I'm gonna pick these surfaces, and I'm gonna do an offset of 0, and then I'm gonna delete this solid body, and set these surfaces to be pink. That's what I make all my mating surfaces that are generally hidden. That way if I see pink, I can know to address it. Material, I'm just gonna call it rubber. I'm gonna remove all part appearances, and I'm not sure if the color of the rubber is gonna apply. There we go. Okay, so now I'm just gonna call this EE, and I'm gonna go back to there. So I can now insert these wires. I'm gonna see. So this assembly is currently fixed, or it's mated, so I can work with that. So I'm gonna reattach this to the mating points, which are right there. This is just an approximation of what a welded part looks like, or a soldered joint looks like. Not perfectly accurate, obviously. Okay, so we've got that running out now. Show dependence, and if we dissolve this assembly, and it'll take a second, it might even switch to a different window for no apparent reason. So I don't need that anymore. I don't need that. I need the connector. So I'm going to delete that and that. And okay. And so it dropped me out to a different assembly. So just go back here. All right. So I still have some overlap there. It's because these are just like the wire starting point part. So I've got to keep those until I've wired all 3 of them up. And even then I'll just suppress those because I don't want to lose them. So I'm just now going to mate this. I'm going to mate this to the wires using whatever it starts as, because I know they are currently in the correct place. And one more. All right, so that is fully defined, and I'm going to save it. All right, so then I'd basically repeat that same process 2 more times for these 2, and I'd also repeat that last process again over here. So I'd have the 3 wires go into here, make those all into a single part. And then, as you can see here, you can do kind of the same thing to combine them. So basically this diameter or this face is the diameter of these 4 wires bundled together and tightly wrapped. So that way, by doing that early at the connection, I can run just 1 wire across instead of 2, or when you start having 4 or 5, or like here I've got 24, I'm not going to run 24 individual wires. So at that point you can just start combining them. But like for this one, again, I had, I designed this light module. I wanted it to have its own connector. I wanted to figure out exactly where that connector should hang. So yeah. So I think this video's probably gone on far too long already, but well, you get the idea. I'm gonna spend some more time wiring this up properly, but I won't waste your time watching that. I may cut back to it at the end to just show everything done.